Hello, I'm EG, and this is Crocheting with EG, and in this video, this might be kind of surprising, but I actually got a clearance yarn haul from Hobby Lobby. It's like, what else is new? Of course I did, but I'll show the haul in a minute. But while I was waiting for them to clearance the yarn, I did go to Goodwill and I got a couple things, and then I'll also show, I'm sure I've already shown it, but I finished the Christmas bag that I'm going to do the tutorial for. I already filmed the tutorial, but I haven't edited it together. But I'm sure it's been out for... When is this video coming out for you? When, is it like February, March, April? Is it summer yet? It's winter as I'm filming this. We just got a light dusting of snow or whatever. We never really get much snow around here, but... Okay, quick edit here. That didn't age very well, knowing how much, ice and snow and stuff we and the entire country got a couple weeks after I filmed that video. But here I was saying, oh, we hardly get any snow around here, and it's literally still out there after it's been a couple weeks since we got it, and it's still out there and all kinds of ice and stuff. And I mean the roads are pretty clear, but we just got a crap ton of ice, and then a couple of days later a whole bunch of snow. I think we got like 8 inches of snow out there, but whatever. Here I was talking about, oh, we just hardly get any snow, whatever. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. Anyway, back to the video. But I finished the Christmas bag, and I've already filmed the tutorial. I just need to edit it and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure I've already posted it. Hopefully it turned out okay. But I'll show that. But the main part of the video will be another yarn haul, another ridiculous yarn haul. I keep buying it because I just feel like there is an end point to this, right? I mean, this can't be the norm for Hobby Lobby. I mean, it is for my Hobby Lobby for some reason. Like every single shipment day, that they have yarn that's on clearance and stuff. Unless they like got word to the warehouse that, hey, there's this guy that keeps coming in here and getting all the clearance yarn in our store or whatever. So if you have any in the warehouse that you need to get rid of, just send it our way, because it won't stay on the shelves very long, because he's going to come in here. He comes in here like 3 or 4 times on the shipment days, where we're looking for yarn or whatever. So if you have any extra yarn, yarn that just needs to be gotten rid of, and you need it to move really quickly, just send it to our store, because he'll come in here and he'll get it like clockwork. But whatever, I'm just exaggerating, of course, but it sort of feels that way. I mean, of course, I feel like I'm so slick going in there and like getting the yarn and getting out, but they're starting to notice me. It's a little uncomfortable. I mean, they're really nice and stuff, but it's just weird how many people keep walking by and they'll, oh hey, like they're starting to sort of recognize me as that person that comes in all the time looking for clearance yarn and stuff. And so it's just kind of like odd, because I don't like to talk to people, and I don't even like to like run into people, and it makes me physically uncomfortable, like talk to people. But I'm like talking, it's weird enough for me to like be on YouTube and like I'm having a lot of fun interacting with people in the comments and stuff, but like this is so out of the norm for me, because I'm just like not a social person, and now I'm like, because I'm going into all these stores so many times, especially Hobby Lobby, I'm starting to like talk to people, and it's really odd. It's just like unlike me at all, because I'm usually the person that tries to avoid people, and it's kind of hard to avoid people in Hobby Lobby, because I mean, like the employees, there's tons of people in there, like customers, but like they have so many employees in there. They probably have like 80 employees in there. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but there are a lot of employees in there, and so like when I'll go into the store and I try to avoid people, because I don't want, I want to like get the yarn and get out, feel like I'm sneaking and getting the yarn and like leaving and not like interacting with anybody. I turn a corner and like there's an employee, and then I turn a corner and there's 2 more employees, and then I turn another corner, go down this aisle, there's another employee, and so it's kind of hard to avoid these people. And so I mean, they're perfectly nice and stuff, but it's just getting kind of like uncomfortable, because I don't like to run into anybody. And so like when I run into somebody unexpectedly, it just gets me all tongue-tied and it gets me tongue-tied and tisted. See, I can barely speak with myself. Like, there's nobody here. I can barely speak with myself. Let alone, like, can you imagine out this stuttering mess or whatever talking to another human being that is like unexpectedly there? Like, it's awful. And so like trying to walk through Hobby Lobby and avoid all the employees or whatever, just so I can feel like I'm getting the yarn, and I have to see somebody in the line anyway, and deal with that whole thing, and get the yarn or whatever. I want to like get the yarn and get out of the store and not have to deal with anybody, not have to talk to anybody. I mean, they're perfectly nice, the people I've talked to or whatever. It's just really odd. It's just unlike me at all to think like, oh, I'm on YouTube, I'm talking to people in the comments all the time, I'm connected with all these people. And now I'm like going into the stores and stuff when I'd rather be at home. Going into the stores literally every day, sometimes multiple times a day, if I know that there's yarn that's going to be clearanced or whatever. And like actually talking to the employees, and like people sort of recognize me as the guy that's oh, he's in here again, like looking for yarn. it's odd. I mean, there's a lot of good things that have been added to my life because of all this crochet and all this stuff, but also it's really odd how much my life has changed since, you know, picking up crochet and getting on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Like, I never expected my life to be like this. I mean, there's a lot of really positive things, but a lot of really odd things. I cannot believe that I'm like walking through the store and like talking to some of the employees and stuff, or like, you know, interacting, talking to people, actual people in the comments or whatever on YouTube, and it's very odd. But whatever. I mean, it's just so unlike me at all. But whatever. Let me finally get to the yarn. But I went into Hobby Lobby. It was one of their shipment days, or whatever. I walked in there when I normally do, and they were still putting the yarn on the shelves, like the brand new yarn and everything. So I knew that it would be a while. So whenever that happens, that's when I go to other stores, and I kind of stay out so that I can pop back into Hobby Lobby a few more times. Sometimes it's, you know, 3 or 4 times. But yeah, luckily this day I only had to go in there a second time. But I did go to Goodwill and get a couple other things. I'll get to that later. But I'll go ahead and start with the yarn after that long-winded story that, you know, it doesn't really matter. But I got 35 skeins of yarn. They had 37. There were 2. There was one that I almost didn't get. But there were 2 skeins of the scrub. It was like the that cotton that I tried to work with and it snapped. There was one of those in there. I didn't get that. And then there was that kind of cotton that I mean, there was that kind of scrubby yarn that's it feels like plastic. I didn't get that. I did leave those 2. And there was a skein of a cozy occasion. And like I said, I made that ridiculous cowl, that, you know, green. I still have a little ball here. I need to put with the my balls of yarn. But I use that green color. I get the thing, but I have to crawl my ass under this table just to go over there and get that thing, because I put it on that shelf. But the cowl that I made out of this like cozy occasion, that olive green. And so after I made that, and I wasn't crazy about the texture of it. I said to myself, I'm not going to get any more of that cozy occasion, even though I sort of get this yarn from my niece. But there's so much on her shelf, and she doesn't really come over that often. And so I'm just thinking, I have plenty of yarn for her. So like, I don't need to get any more of that cozy occasion, because I feel like if I have to use some of this yarn myself, I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of like Bernat Blanket and cozy occasion yarn, because I don't make Amigurumi and stuff, even though I do have an idea for something that's sort of Amigurumi. Or I guess it is Amigurumi, but I'm just going to kind of freehand it, but whatever. But I just thought, I'm not going to get any more of that cozy occasion, just because of how I don't really like the texture of it. But when I made that green cowl, and I said that the texture of the yarn kind of reminds me of marshmallows, I thought of this idea, and I sort of put it out of my head, because when I came in here looking for the yarn that I could use to make that, she didn't have any on her wall, and so I thought, I just won't do it. But I had this thing, and I know you just want to get to the yarn, but whatever, my long-winded stories. But when I used to babysit my niece, I used to get her all kinds of crafty things. She loves to draw, and she loves she got into crochet. She loves all kinds of like crafty things, and she's really artistic too, like I am, and really creative. And so I used to get her this. I'm sure it was like by Crayola or something. It was this air dry clay, and it comes in those little like plastic packs, and then you rip it open. And it's kind of like that spongy kind of clay. It's not like air dry clay, like the kind of clay that an adult would use if they didn't have, you know, the access to the kind of clay that you can fire in a kiln. It wasn't that. It's that kind of spongy, you know, little kid clay. And so I had gotten some of that for her to, you know, kind of play around with. And so we were like, you know, forming stuff or whatever. And I got some of the white, and I was just kind of like messing around with it while she was, you know, making whatever she was making. And I made this little thing, and it looks like a marshmallow. And I said, oh, so you can just kind of like, you know, form it in your hands, kind of like this. And she said, oh, it's like a marshmallow. And so she loved this. I was just kind of like, you know, messing around with it and made this little thing. And then she said, oh, it's like a marshmallow. And so she wanted to, you know, keep it. And so I just thought it was just like a random thing. I didn't even sit down to think, oh, I'm going to make a marshmallow. I was just kind of like showing her how to form things or whatever. And so I made a little marshmallow. And so, and then she went in to the living room, and she showed my mom this and stuff. And I must have like gone into the kitchen to get something to eat or whatever. And then by the time I went back into the living room, my mom and my niece were still talking about the little marshmallow, and they both loved it. And my mom thinks it's adorable. And what is really cool is while I was in the kitchen or whatever, my niece took a little marker, and she drew a face on it. And so she put this little face on the marshmallow, and my mom, she saved it because she thought it was like the most adorable thing. and my mom has it on the mantle or whatever, and like she kept it, and I mean, it's just like this ridiculous little like marshmallow thing, and it has a little face on it, a really adorable little face. And so when I was thinking about the whole, like, the yarn reminding me of the texture of marshmallows, and I was thinking about this, I thought it'd be kind of funny to take some white Bernat blanket or cozy occasion yarn off my niece's wall, and make a little like amigurumi marshmallow that's like this, and I can take some black and add the face that my niece put on it. And I just thought it'd be kind of funny because all it is like a little cylinder. It'd be very easy to just kind of freehand this and just add a little face on it. I mean, it's, you know, not that complicated. But I thought it'd be kind of funny to do that. But when I went in here and I was looking on my niece's wall, all that yarn on her wall, she doesn't have any white Bernat blanket or cozy occasion. She has some of the Snugs and Kisses, but that's actually really soft yarn. But the only cozy occasion that she has that is like almost white is an ivory, and I want like a nice white one. And so I thought, because she didn't have it, I thought I'm not going to buy any or whatever. And so I thought, you know, it doesn't really matter. And it was just like this random idea that, like, one of my ridiculous ideas. It's not like, oh, I'm going to make the most gorgeous sweater and give it to something. Like, no, I think of like, oh, I should make a little marshmallow out of yarn. That's the ridiculous kind of stuff that goes through my head. And so, but then when she didn't have any of the white, I thought, okay, well, it was just like some stupid idea or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And then when I went in here, and I even said to myself, I'm not going to get any more of that cozy occasion or the Bernat blanket for my niece. And so when I went into Hobby Lobby and they had their shipment day and they had the yarn or whatever, I was going through the yarn, I was like putting my cart, and I separated out the scrubby yarn or whatever, and then I looked in there, and there was a skein of the cozy occasion in white. And I thought, I almost said, I don't want to get this, but then I thought, that stupid like marshmallow idea ran through my head again. I thought, like, how perfect is this? And so even though I'm not crazy about the texture of the yarn, I really loved the idea of making that ridiculous little marshmallow. I'll probably make it a lot bigger than this, of course, but I had to get it because I thought, even though I'm not crazy about the yarn, I wanted to make that little marshmallow, and I would have if she would have had the yarn on her shelf or whatever, and so, or her tower, or it's practically a half wall at this point. But so they had this, so I did get this. But this is probably going to be the last cozy occasion that I get, because I didn't even want to buy any more of it. I was just going to use some if she had it on her wall, but she didn't. But I did get this just to make a freaking marshmallow, and I'll probably have enough of this where I can make one for my mom and make one for my niece, to kind of like represent her little marshmallow, because my niece loves this thing too, and so she loves that we kept it all this time. And so we keep all her we have like this big stack of like all of her artwork, even just like little scribbles and stuff. We keep all of her artistic stuff and creative stuff, but whatever. I think she'll really love to have like a little amigurumi that sort of represents something that, you know, she made, or I mean, I made the structure of it, but, you know, it sort of represents something that like we made together, like this little marshmallow thing with a face on it. And so I'll use this yarn to make that. I never wanted to get an amigurumi. I never wanted to get any more of this cozy occasion. Here I am. I bought some of this to make an amigurumi, but whatever. It's just another unexpected thing that in my life that I never thought I would be doing. So that was one. And then I will show this because I cannot believe they had this. Because there was that haul that I saw in the cart before they had clearanced it. You know, this was weeks ago. And they had that really nice cart of yarn. And there was that red skein that I talked about that there were several weeks where I saw it like on the shelf in the store. It was that red metallic yarn. It was like the red, and it had like the silver metallic strain in it. And I said that it was like really messed up or whatever, and I just knew it was going to be clearance, but they hadn't clearanced it. And then I saw it in that cart, and then that was one of the carts where I missed all that really good yarn, and I missed that skein that I knew was going to be clearance. I knew it was going to be clearance for weeks, and then it finally was, and then I missed out on it. And this was in the remnants, like, and this one isn't all messed up or whatever, but I finally got one of these. I could have gotten it. All the trips I go to Hobby Lobby and all the gas that I waste going to Hobby Lobby, I could have bought this full price like 4 or 5 times, but whatever. But I did get one clearance, you know, $1.24. It's just like this gorgeous red metallic. You know, I love this yarn metallic and the color red. So just gorgeous, and I love that I finally got one, because I missed out on that other one, that other haul, but whatever, I did get that. And then what's weird is the employee put like most of the yarn in a big bag. It's one of those Christmas bags, which I love. And so they put it in this big bag, and then it got to the point where there were like maybe 5 skeins left, and then they thought, oh, it's too full, and then they gave me another bag with the rest of them in it. But it was the same haul, but most of them would fit in that big bag, or all of them fit in the big bag, but whatever. So I love this yarn and the color white, and so there's like a white skein. All these are $1.24, I think. All these medium fours. I love this yarn print and the color Sea Muse. A really gorgeous mix of blues and greens and a little bit of purple in it. I mean, it's mainly blue, but it has a little bit of green and purple in it. Really gorgeous color. This one feels a little... Like I've said, there was a skein, instant classic or whatever that I used for one of my throw blankets or a scarf or whatever it was, where it felt a little bit thin. This one feels a little bit thin. Now that I feel it in my hands, but I don't know. I don't know if it will be or not, but it just feels a little on the thin side. Sometimes a yarn, there can be inconsistencies with their yarn. I mean, that's true of any kind of brand, but it's not the norm for Hobby Lobby. The skeins are usually really consistent with Hobby Lobby, but occasionally they'll have some that just feels a little different. Sometimes there have been some that feel like extra soft, but then they feel a little extra thin. This was just a little bit thin, but it's gorgeous. I don't care how thin it is. I mean, all these gorgeous colors, so I got that in, whether it feels thin or not. So $1.24 for that. A soft and sleek, or Yarn Bee soft and sleek, chunky, and low pill fiber in the color black. One of these black skeins. I think I have one of these. I think it's a chunky too. I'm not really sure. But I love this soft and sleek that's really soft. There are a couple that are a little scratchy, that I've gotten that are a little scratchy. I guess it's like an inconsistency issue, but there are some of these that are really soft. I know it's low pill fiber, but a lot of these aren't like as soft as some of the other kinds of low pill fiber yarn that I keep talking about, like, oh, the texture. I just love the texture of low pill fiber yarn, or anti-pilling or whatever. I guess because this is, I did look it up. Low pill fiber is better than like regular acrylic, but it's not as good as anti-pilling. So anti-pilling is better than low pill fiber, and low pill fiber is better than just like regular acrylic. So that's why I guess that's why some of it it just isn't as soft as like the anti-pilling yarn. But there are a couple that are scratchy. This isn't. This is really nice and soft. And this one is too. A Yarn Bee soft and sleek, chunky, low pill fiber in the color linen. So it's sort of a linen color, kind of like a brownish ivory color. And $1.24 for that. Now this other bag, one of these Yarn Bee Snugs and Kisses. Like I said, this yarn is really soft. This doesn't feel like Bernat Blanket. This is like really soft yarn. So my niece does have a white in this, but if I was going to make some ridiculous marshmallow or whatever, I didn't want to use this really nice yarn because she's probably going to really like working with all of this. So I didn't want to like touch that from her wall. You know, she does have a couple white, and she does have some really thick yarn too that's white. But I wanted to make a little thing, but with the cozy occasion, because it does feel like marshmallows. But this is Baby Bee Snugs and Kisses in the color Cozy Rosy. I can't remember if I have this pink or not. There is a light pink over there, but I think that's that one that I got from Goodwill in that haul. So I don't know if I have this Cozy Rosy. It's a really nice, pretty pink color. So really soft. This is regular price $8.99 and got it for $2.24. So it's a really good price for that, for this big skein. And so I had another one of those grape jellies. I did get this. I feel like if I see any more of this grape jelly, I'm probably not going to get any more of this. But I do have a lot of this for her. I think there's like maybe 3 skeins on her wall, and but it is a pretty color. And again, grape jelly isn't a really good name for this because it just feels like if grape jelly looked like this, it would just there's like something wrong with it. But it's kind of like a muted purple color with a little bit of white mixed in it, and $2.24 for that. And then they had a couple Yarn Bee Soft Secrets. This one was, and I'm looking at the price, because sometimes it's like the $5.99s that are clearance. These are the $4.99s that were clearance for $1.24. Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color taupe, so like a taupe color, and then Yarn Bee Soft Secret in the color pink, so like a sort of a light pink. And I don't think I have this pink. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a taupe, unless over there my yarn dealer is creating a shadow on that shelf over there because it's so damn big and ridiculous. But I thought that was taupe, but I think that might be that mushroom over there. So maybe I don't have a taupe. Like, it's shocking how many times I get yarn that I've never gotten before. But this, I don't have this pink, because those are like kind of purpley pinks. This is a really light pink, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't get this before, but or it might be in some of my hauls that I haven't put away yet, because I do have a big pile of them in there in my dining room, my catch-all room, whatever. So I got those Soft Secrets. They were only $1.24. And then this Yarn Bee, soft and sleek, chunky, low fiber. The color linen. Oh, I got 2 of those linens. And these are really soft, thankfully. But a really pretty linen color. So I'll put that with the other one. I love this yarn. God damn it, I have to say that at least once in my videos. And the color Sun Gold. I do love the Sun Gold, and it's one of the colors that I haven't. I hate that my 6 color bookmark skeins are up there. That you can't see them in the video anymore because I used to have them over here. But I'm gonna fix that in the future. I have an idea how to fix that, to put those colors on my wall somewhere where you can see it in the video. But the Sun Gold is the gold color that I use for the 6 colors for whatever that's coming in the future. Trying to say it without saying it is just like really hard. But whatever. And so trying to say anything is hard. God, cause my stuttering issues and everything else. But the Sun Gold is the gold color that I use for those. So I will use that. $1.24 for that. I think these 2 are the same. Yarn Bee, soft and sleek, chunky, low pill fiber, and I think these are exactly the same. Yeah, they're both ivory. They look like different dye lots though. Yeah, like the dye lot is sort of noticeably different. Sometimes the dye lots are kind of, you can barely tell, but like these you can kind of tell. Maybe not on camera, but in person. This one is a little bit more like a matte, kind of creamy ivory color, and then this one is sort of like a shinier one. So I have to make sure that if I use this for anything, I don't mix them, or I like do that like back and forth thing, so that it kind of like spreads out on the thing, so it's not noticeably different. But they are sort of noticeably different compared to each other, but it's just because they're different dye lots. But that's going to happen if I keep getting all this random yarn, and I don't like take the time to actually. Oh well, these are different dye lots, so I'll just get this one because like I just kind of grab it up and get it and assess later. But whatever. And so I did get 2 of those. And then this, I love this yarn and the color white. Okay, this is white. But although this feels like one of those like thinner kind of, I love this yarn. Like, where's that white? Yeah, see, I don't know if you can tell the difference on camera. But like, even the size looks a little bit different. See, this one looks a little like thicker and more substantial. This one just feels, sometimes our yarn is like a little, it's extra soft, but it's kind of like shiny and like a little bit thinner. If you've worked with their yarn, you know what I'm talking about, like the difference. Sometimes it is really nice and significant and a little bit more like substantial but then sometimes it can be sort of like kind of like thin and a little floppy, little. I mean, it's extra soft, but it's just a little shiny on the shiny side. Don't fall. Now am I talking to the yarn like it's don't fall. Like it's gonna stop and say, "Oh, sorry," whatever. It's so stupid. But they're obviously. I said, "Don't fall." God. But whatever. And so this is like more substantial, and then it's just like one of those skeins is a little bit thinner. So anyway. I probably repeated myself like 4 times. I hate when I do that, but I've noticed, like, watching back my videos when I have to edit them and stuff, I'm thinking, God, do I edit out, like, the 3rd time I've said something, and like, I say something once, and then I say, like, repeat myself and just, like, a little bit different, and then I repeat myself a 3rd time, maybe sometimes 4 times, and I'm thinking, do I go back and, like, edit out, like, the 3rd and 4th time I repeated something in like, a 1-minute span, or do I just, like, leave it in and say, screw it? And so I just thought, it's hard enough for me to edit my videos. I just think, oh, I'll just leave it in. Who cares? Whatever. I'm sorry I repeat myself or whatever, but that's just how I am. It's another one of my issues. I don't know. I don't know how you can get over like not repeating yourself, but whatever. And so there's that. Another white. And they had. I love this chunky and the color White Mist. I had to look because sometimes our whites are like ridiculous colorway names. Cause I mean these are white, but this is like White Mist. Really nice, really soft, chunky yarn. Sometimes their chunkies are just they're not as soft as this. This is really nice and soft. So it's really a pretty white color. And then there's another chunky in here. Oh, there's 2 of them. Baby Bee Sweet Delight Chunky and the color Pinkaboo Marled. I guess it's marled a little bit. I mean barely. It's like it has some pink, but it has like a little bit of an ivory mix in, but you can barely tell. You can kind of see it a little bit better on the camera than you can in person, but you have to really look at it to see the different colors. But a really pretty pink color. Another one that's really soft. So then there's that one, and then I love this chunky and the color red velvet, gorgeous red color. I love this. I mean, this is so nice. I do love red, probably because, you know, me being obsessed with the ruby slippers since I was a kid. But whatever, I do love like a really gorgeous red like this. This is $1.24. Regular $4.99. I'm sorry if I missed some of the prices or whatever, but I get so much yarn. Sometimes I miss like saying what the regular price was and what the clearance price was. But this is $1.24. I think that's all the chunky. This is a gorgeous red too. Baby Bee Adore Ball in the color red. It's like one of those plush sort of velvety yarns. Just a really gorgeous, vibrant red. $1.24 for that. And they had another Baby Bee Adore Ball in the color Baby's Blue. It's like a sort of a light blue, like a baby blue. This was $1.24 too. And then they had Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth in the color black. I guess it is. They look like from far away. These look exactly the same, like the same kind of yarn. But this is more of like a plush yarn. It's really soft. It's not like a Bernat blanket kind of feeling, but it's nice and soft yarn. But the velvety yarn, like the velvety smooth yarn, is like extra soft. I do love that extra soft velvet yarn. Just a lot softer than even this. And it's a really gorgeous, like deep dark black. I really love the black. And so the color is black. $1.24 for that. And then I love this yarn in the color Glacier. That kind of like greenish, bluish color. One of those icy pastels. I need to figure out how many of each of these icy pastels I have. I need to go through my stash and go through the bags I need to put away, and that'll be another video. I'm putting all that stuff away. But I need to figure out exactly how many of these kind of icy pastels I have, and like which one. I want to use the Spa color and the Glacier, and then figure out which other ones I can mix with it to make something with all these icy pastels, because these are just really gorgeous. I mean, I'm not crazy about like the Easter kind of pastels, but I do love these pastels, like these icy pastels. And another Glacier, and so got one of those. And then I love this yarn in the color Grape, a really gorgeous purple color, a really vibrant purple. I know I have a lot of like darker purples and some lighter purples. I don't know. It sounds familiar, but there are a lot of yarns that are Grape. I don't know if I have this exact shade. I need to put a little hat on over my my bald spot, because every time I turn around, it's like, oh, there's another shot of it. But I don't know if I have this exact shade, but this is a really gorgeous. I love this kind of purple. Like when I say, like when I talk about like the plum purples, how it's a little dull. Well, like this is the kind of purple that I love. Like these really, you know, vibrant purples. And so that's the kind of purple that I love. So this is $1.24 for that. And they had, I love this yarn in the color Soft Pink, a really pretty soft pink skein. $1.24 for that. And then they had two skeins of that Yarn Bee Ethereal Eyelash yarn, that really soft eyelash yarn. This is the color Muted Jade. Is this that same blue? I'm asking you. You probably know if you've seen my videos. I wonder if this is that same. It's over there in that corner. I wonder if this is that same blue that I got, that I want to mix into the yarn that I got from Ollie's for my mom to make her a scarf or something. I can't remember if it was called Jade. I thought Jade was like a green color, but I can't remember. I can't see over there. I don't have to get up and look. But it's a really gorgeous, like kind of a light blue, maybe a hint of green in it, but it's sort of a light blue. It's one of that really soft eyelash yarn. Regular price $7.49 for this. I got it for $1.87. And then the other one is the Yarn Bee Ethereal Eyelash in the color Oat. I should have known that. I've gotten so many of this Oat, but I have like 4 or 5 of these Oat colors, and so really gorgeous, kind of a darker taupe, kind of like a light tan color. Regular $7.49, got it for $1.37. Wait, oh, that's weird. The sticker says $1.37, so one of these was wrong. So yeah, they were both $7.49, but this was clearance to $1.87, and this was clearance to $1.37. I don't know, must have been a mistake, whatever. But this one was $1.37, so that's even better than $1.87. And then I love this yarn print in the color Songbird Stripe. And of course I've gotten that before. I made that cowl, and it has sort of like a tan color, and then has all these streaks of like some kind of earth tone greens and blues, and like sort of a dark brown, a little bit of a purpley brown, actually. One of those purples is like so dark it's almost brown, and that's kind of streaked in there too. Really gorgeous, kind of a neutral, I mean kind of an earth tone mix of colors, even though it has like some blue and green in it. And then they had some cotton skeins. Let me see. I love this yarn print in the color tin roof. It's like that gray color. It's that speckled yarn. It has like some speckles of like darker gray in it. That's not the cotton. I'm all over the place. I said, oh, there's some cotton, then I grabbed this, whatever. But it's like one of the, I know I've gotten this before. It's just like a really gorgeous gray speckled yarn. $1.24 for that. And then they did have some cotton. Oh, this isn't the cotton. I thought this was cotton. Yarn, I mean, these are cotton, but I'm such a mess. This isn't cotton. This Yarn Bee, that pearl spun, and the color pearl. I love this pearl spun. I mean, you could really tell this is low pill fiber. It's just so gorgeous, and really soft, and it's like an ivory color. The color is pearl, but it's kind of like the color of a pearl. It's sort of shiny like a pearl too. So it's a good color name for that. So I do have a lot of this pearl spun. Just a really nice skein. I thought that was cotton. But they had 3 skeins of cotton. I love this cotton. And this is the color Aspen. And although it's spelled A-S-P-Y-N instead of A-S-P-E-N. And then it's sort of like a tealish green color. And these are all 99 cents, I think. Really good price for those. A regular price $3.99, so this is 99 cents. Kind of like a tealish green color. And then I love this cotton and the color glowing. I've gotten that before because I remember sort of describing it like the orange from like the glow of fire. You know, when it, that glowing orange. It is kind of like a glowing orange, like a really bright orange. But it kind of reminds you of that orange when you look at fire, and it's like that kind of the orange glow of like a campfire kind of thing. So 99 cents for that. And then this one is like a variegated one. I love this cotton print and the color sun setting, and I don't have this either. I am getting a lot of these variegated cotton skeins too, and so this is really nice. It has kind of like an ivory color as the base, and then it has all these kind of like a stone wash look. It has some purple and orange and a little bit of a tealish green, and just a really gorgeous variegated cotton skein. 99 cents for that. And then one of these Yarn Bee Dream Supreme, wait, with a knot right there. I felt it right there. Anyway, it's Yarn Bee Dream Supreme in the color T. It's kind of like a really light green, like a very light olive green. And so, but it's gorgeous. And I keep saying this about this yarn, but I just feel like I want to find the perfect project for this because I feel like I'm not going to get any more, but then I keep getting more of it. So I should just figure out what I'm going to use this stuff for and make something with it, because it's such nice, really soft yarn. I mean, it's so like soft and bulky or whatever. It's always like tearing the it's a wonder this label isn't torn, because like every single one of them I've gotten before have torn like that, but this is actually intact. But it's just like a really nice, soft, squishy yarn. But it's like, it feels like it's regular acrylic. It doesn't feel squishy like Bernat blanket kind of plush yarn. It feels like actual acrylic. It's made, or yeah, 100% premium micro acrylic. I mean, it feels like really nice soft acrylic. It's really nice, and I just need to find the perfect project for all of it. It's going to be projects because I keep getting all this stuff, even though I just feel like, oh, I'm not going to get any more of it. But then there's another one, and then regular $8.99 for this, and got it for $2.24. So it's really a pretty color. And then another the last one is one of these Yarn Bee Breathe Deep Super Bulky, and the color soft pink. I don't have the soft pink. I don't think I. Why do I keep doing like sitting on my shoulder? Such a ridiculous part. Maybe I'm just like, I need a pillow because I was like so exhausted from like hauling in all this yarn all the time. No, I don't know if I have the pink unless it's in some of those bags that I need to put away or whatever. But you'd think at this point I would remember what yarns I get, but I do get a lot of yarn. But the regular price for these is $11.99, but I got it for $2.99. Really nice yarn. And I actually did start to work with some of that yarn. I wanted to see how it would work, and let me get it. I pulled a little bit out of this blue skein, or whatever it's called, stone blue, and I just put it, where's the hook? Oh, I just put a hook in it. But I did work with a little bit of it the other day just to see what it was like, and I just did like my EG stitch or whatever, and I used a 6mm crochet hook, and it was the perfect size. Like, it tells you to use a 9mm crochet hook. I know that this is bulky as far as the weight of it, but there's no way I would use a 9mm crochet. I used a 6, and it was perfectly fine. like I almost used a 5.5, and I thought, well, it is like slightly bulkier than a medium 4, so maybe I should use like a 6. It was fine. It was perfect. It was so nice to work with. I did like a tiny little swatch just to show that I did a little bit with this yarn, but I'm just like really excited to figure out what to use this yarn for, because it's such a unique yarn, and of course it didn't split at all. It was so easy to work with. I can't, because it is kind of like cord, or like a material. I mean, I don't mean cord like, it's like scratchy or weird. I mean, it's just like the way it's woven together. Like even cord would be like splitty, but this isn't splitty at all. It's weird how the hook just like grabs it, and like it doesn't split at all. I mean, it's a really cool yarn. But I guess it's a yarn. It feels like a material. I mean, it's really easy to work with. But I did want to use a little bit of it the other day just to see what it was like to work with, and it was really easy. I'm just gonna pull this out. It's just like a tiny little swatch, but I'm glad I got another one, and it's a really pretty pink color too. But anyway, I could do this off camera. God, this video is gonna be long enough anyway. But I did do that. I wanted to show that. But really pretty pink color, and the pink and the blue, the stone blue kind of match too. It'd be kind of cool to make something with these. And I do have a gray, and I think I have a black, and I've gotten several skeins of this Breathe Deep Super Bulky. But anyway, so that's the haul, and then I'll talk about a couple other random things or whatever here at the end. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was a knot. Like I pulled the outside pull because I couldn't find the center pull in this skein. This was the outside pull. I got to this part right here, and then like that far, and then there's a knot. Like at the end of the skein. I just couldn't believe. So that means that they wound this up, because they wound it from the inside out. So they wound this up, got to this point, and then they ran out of yarn, and then they attached a piece literally this long, like not even like arm length. I mean, like not even 2 arm lengths. And they just attached that like a little knot. So that was kind of frustrating. But it's just like a pet peeve with any kind of yarn. But I just went ahead and finished it because I thought, I'm not going to attach a piece and weave in ends just for like a little tiny swatch that I was going to show on camera or whatever. But I did use a little bit of that. It was really nice and easy to work with. But anyway, I was going to put it back in. I was going to put it in that bag. I'm going to put it back on my shelf or whatever. And then I'll get into the rest of the video. And like I said, I finished my Christmas tree bag, and I think it turned out really nice. I mean, I'm just really happy with it. It's the one inspired by the candy corn bag. I just made the same, like the 4 panels that are kind of triangular, and then I just flipped it upside down, and I made it look like a tree. And I explained in the video. See how better the stars are, like the smaller stars, because I did make like some really big stars, and they were just like way too big. But I just think it turned out so nice. And when I filmed the video and the tutorial and all that kind of stuff, but then I was thinking I should put like some little snaps on these on the bag to like keep it shut, because like if my mom was going to use this or whatever, like she's not going to use this, it's just like a fun thing to like a candy corn bag, you're not going to need snaps on something like this, but I wanted to put like little snaps on this in case my mom wanted to use this for something. And so I went to Hobby Lobby and I got some little snaps, and I'm gonna have to edit it into the video or whatever before I post it, but because I filmed the tutorial, but I didn't film the tutorial for like actually adding these to it. But what I got were these from Sewology. It's a Hobby Lobby brand, I'm sure, and they're called magnetic snaps, and they were only $1.99. I did get 2 packs in case I needed these for something else, but they're these little snaps. So there's like the one side here, and then the other side, and then you sew them on there. They have these holes in the corners, and you sew them onto the bag, and then they snap shut like with a magnet. And so I put the little snaps here on either side of the bag, and then they kind of snap together. I'm doing this like can't even see what I'm doing, but they just snap together with the magnet, like a really strong magnet, and make like a little clicking noise, and so it'll stay shut. And then with the magnets, and so I added those to the bag just for my mom's benefit. But I'm just so glad that this bag turned out nice, because like I've said, our whole family just loves Christmas, and I have my Christmas tree up all year, and it's like a really important holiday to our family and stuff. So that's why I wanted to make this really nice Christmas bag. And I just love how it looks like it's decorated with lights and stuff, and it has a little bit of a sparkliness to it, because I used some of that thin strand, the metallic strand from Hobby Lobby, and mix that in with the yarn. And it's just so pretty and sparkly, and I just really love it. And of course the handles, like I've said in the video, are kind of like reminiscent of candy canes, and I use like sparkle yarn for that, and for the stars too. And I'm really proud of this bag. But when I went into Hobby Lobby and they didn't have the yarn clearance yet, I decided to, you know, stay out and go to a couple places. So I went to Goodwill. I did go to some other stores and bought some stuff for Christmas and everything. But I'll probably talk about all that in like a Christmas video later. Like all the gifts and stuff I got for people for Christmas, and I'll probably do like God. It's gonna be like, you know, February, March, April, May, Christmas in July. That's probably, it's probably gonna take that long for that video to come out. But but I'll probably save all that for that day. But I will say a couple random things. When I went to Marshall's, I got a couple things for Christmas. I don't really go into Marshall's that much. I think I've only been into ours like maybe 3 or 4 times. But I went in there to get a couple Christmas gifts or whatever, and I'll talk about, you know, later in the Christmas video. But I went in there and they do have like a couple collectible kind of things, and they had a couple Harry Potter things. They had this mug. It was like one of those like big kind of like water mugs or whatever that like, you know, all the kids are using nowadays. And they had one that was kind of Wednesday themed, but you could tell that it was clearanced, and you could tell it was the only one left because it was kind of broken. And so I wanted to get that for my niece, but they didn't have any other ones, and it was in the clearance section for a reason, because it was kind of broken, so I didn't get that for her. But I did look at some of that like kind of fan stuff, and they did have some Harry Potter things. They had some like chopsticks that I don't know how to use chopsticks. I don't use chopsticks, but they had some chopsticks that look like wands, and I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't get them because they were a little pricey. And they did have a really cool lamp that had like the snitch on it, and it was a little pricey too. But I did love seeing that they had like some you know, random collectibles and stuff. I'm just too cheap to buy some of that stuff. Just, you know how I am. But they did have like some pretty cool stuff in there. And then when I was going through the line paying for the gifts that I got for some people, I noticed that they had some gift cards there. Of course, I didn't buy any gift cards, but I was noticing that they did have the themed gift cards with, like, you know, they had some Christmas ones, they had some like whatever themes, and they had one that had the Pride colors on it, and I thought it was really cool. Like, I'm one of those suckers that, you know, like buys all that, you know, Pride stuff, you know, no matter how tacky it is. And I was thinking, like, I want one of those gift cards, and like I was almost tempted to like get a gift card, like figure out how much all the stuff was, and then say, okay, I want like, it was maybe like $20 or $30 for all that stuff at Marshall's. And what I thought of later was, like, what I should have done is, like, you know, if I knew how much all that stuff was, like, get that amount on a gift card, so that I could say, okay, I want to get a gift card and put like $30 on it, and then but I want to use the gift card now to buy this stuff, so that I can, you know, have a little gift card. I don't know if that you could get a gift card with nothing on it, but I wanted one of those little Pride gift cards. But I thought it was kind of cool that they had it in there. It was like around Christmas. It's not like it was even in there, you know, around Pride or June or none of that stuff, or October. It was just like, it was in there. It was just cool to like see that, you know, randomly in Marshall's or whatever. But I did get a couple things, but I'll talk about it in the Christmas video. But and so then I went to Goodwill, and they did have a couple things. My mom got a couple things, but I got a couple things. My best friend's not going to watch this, but hopefully she won't, or hopefully by the time this video comes out, I've already gotten this to her. We're the kind of friends where, like, because she lives in another state, like halfway across the country, so but we're the kind of friends that, like, we stay in touch through emails and all that kind of stuff. But then we'll send packages to each other. But if we're out shopping or whatever, and we see something that we think the other person would like, we buy it, and then we kind of save it to like put together a package, you know, in the future. And so like, I have a bunch of stuff for her, and she has some stuff for me, and so like when it gets full, when it gets like to be enough to send a package, and she'll send me one, and then I'll send her one, or like whatever. And so I do have a couple random things for her. But when I was in Goodwill, I found these. She loves K-pop, and she loves BTS or whatever, that pop group or whatever. And they had these. They had a little bag. I think it was like $2 or something. A little bag of toys, and the other toys I just put it with my yard sale stuff. It's like one of those, like a little zipper bag or whatever, like a Ziploc bag. And what they're starting to do now is like take those Ziploc bags and just like throw a bunch of random toys in it, and then just like, you know, zip it up and put like $2 on, or $3 or whatever. And so they're just kind of like getting rid of the little toys that way. And so they had a bunch of these little like K-pop BTS things. They're like little McDonald's toys, because there's like McDonald's logos on them, so they must have come with like Happy Meals or like whatever. But they're these like little figurines, and hopefully she won't see this. But I was hoping that all of them were in there, but I think that there's like 1 or 2 missing, and then I miscounted, because like it was like all bunched up in one of those Ziploc bags, and with a bunch of other stuff. And so I was trying to count them like while it's still sealed in the Ziploc bag, but I didn't realize that like this one, there's 2 of these, and so he has a twin now, I guess. I don't know, but so I'll send it to her anyway, so she'll have an extra. But there's 2 of those, and then there's these 4. I don't really follow like K-pop and BTS. and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know like their names or anything. I don't even think it says it on the little the bottom of the platform, but no, it doesn't even have their names. But I'm sure she knows like which one's which or whatever. But there's these two that were in there too, and then this one, and then this one. And so there was 6 of them, but then there's 2 of these. So there's these little toys or whatever that'll go to my best friend. And then I was walking through there, and they had this mug sitting there, and like from far away, like all I saw was this. It was like this little emblem or whatever on it. It was like that, and I just kind of walked by because it sort of looked like a soup bowl or something, and it looked kind of pretty and stuff. But and then I was walking, and my mom's with me, and she said, "Oh, this has a Harry Potter on the bottom of it," and it was this. She picked it up, thankfully, because like I just sort of passed by. I just thought it was like some random thing, just like a bird or whatever. And then she said, "It has Harry Potter on the bottom of it," and it's a Ravenclaw mug, or like I guess it could be a soup bowl. I don't know, but it's like because I'm a Ravenclaw, and so it had, like the handle is an R. They have these in every single one of the houses. I looked it up on eBay. They're really cool, like the little R, or like the Gryffindor, the handle's a G, or like whatever, Slytherin and all that, Hufflepuff, and so like the first letter is a little handle, and so that's why there's an R there, and so it's like, it says like, you know, Ravenclaw, and then it has a little Ravenclaw symbol there, and then it's like the house colors is a little like blue inside, and it has this little thing on the bottom. This is $2.99 at Goodwill. Really good price, and it still has a little sticker on it. It says like Wizarding World and like the, you know, Harry Potter logo down there. And so I got it for $3 at Goodwill. Regular price was 20. No, the regular price, not the clearance price. No, it still has a little sticker on it. This was regular price $19.99. So $2.99 was a good price for this. Plus it's gorgeous. I mean, and it's a Ravenclaw too. So it's like a perfect thing for me and my Harry Potter collection. And then while I was in there, of course, every time I go to Goodwill, I always look for yarn in case I'm having, anywhere I go, I look for yarn. It's a wonder I don't go through my grocery stores looking for yarn. I was laughing because I do go, it was a joke in my head that I probably, it's a wonder I don't go through my grocery store looking for yarn, but I kind of do it because I do buy some of my groceries at Walmart, like the big Walmart, and they do have yarn there, but whatever, so... Stupid. Anyway, so I was going through Goodwill looking for yarn, and they did have a bag. It was $10 for that. It wasn't even like, I've gotten like huge bags, like those zipper bags that comforters come in. I've gotten those bags for way cheaper than that. And it was like this little tiny sort of zipper bag that probably like a sheet set came in, like one of those. And I got a video of it with my crappy phone or whatever. And it was just like, it looked like a sort of clumped up mess or whatever, and like some plush yarn in there, and there was some of that kind of wavy yarn in there too. But I thought $10 for that like tiny little bag. It just wasn't worth it. I mean, I hate how inconsistent the prices are in there too. Like sometimes you'll see something like one day a mug like this will be, you know, $3, and then the next day they'll have something like this, and then somebody will price it at like, you know, $19.99, because they'll think, oh, this is Harry Potter, this is a collectible thing. We'll put, you know, $20 on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's like inconsistencies with the prices and stuff, and so sometimes I'll get like a big bin of yarn for, you know, like a good price, and then sometimes there's those like tiny little bags or whatever for like $10. It's just ridiculous. So I didn't get it, but I did take a video of it just to, you know, show in a video or whatever. I mean sometimes they do have really good deals, but sometimes it's really crappy deals like that. I mean, it's just that bag wasn't even worth $5. I just thought $10. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm like cheap as hell, but still, it's just, it's old yarn. It's some that they got for free, and they shoved it in and all they did was like, you know, shove it in like a plastic bag or a plastic thing that, you know, like some sheet set came in or whatever, like $10 on it. I don't know, it's just like ridiculous. But also that wasn't the only yarn in there. I was going through, I like to look through those big, they're not bins, but they're like these metal things that have like it's not like fabric remnants, but it's like sheets and pillowcases and like dish towels and like that kind of stuff. Because I found some really cool stuff in there. A couple Harry Potter things, a couple random things. I forget like the exact word they use for all that stuff that they have in there. But I like to dig through that sometimes just to see. But when I was digging through there was a random skein of yarn in there. It was like a Red Heart Super Saver, one of those like heathered. It's like that heathered yarn that I have that's gray, except it was dark gray. But it was just like a random skein, and because it didn't have a price on it, I thought it must have gotten like wrapped up in somebody's, somebody must have, like, when they were donating stuff to Goodwill, just like, you know, threw a bunch of like stuff into a bag, and then it ended up like being wrapped up in somebody's blanket or sheet or whatever. And so that's how it ended up there. But I mean, it didn't have a price on it. I wouldn't have wanted it anyway. But I put it back on the shelf. But also, even if it was one that I wanted, I would have had to go through the pain of having to go over there and like find somebody and say, oh, how much is this? I don't like to do that, because in my head they're going to think, oh, you just didn't want to pay the price that was already on it, and you just ripped the price of it off, and you want me to like reprice it, even though that's not the case. But that's just what's going to go through my head, like taking something over there and saying, this doesn't have a price on it, how much is this, and like trying to find somebody that would have the ability to price it, and then also like dealing with the anxiety of like wondering, like, are they going to think that I just like ripped a really expensive price off just so I could try to get a cheaper price? And I thought it's not worth it, because I didn't want a skein yarn anyway. But even if it was one I wanted, I wouldn't have done it. See how I repeated myself? It's like, I don't know why I like bookend my thoughts like that. I sort of say something and then like I sort of repeat it to kind of like bookend it at the end, even though it's like just the same damn thing, like for a second time. At least that was only twice, but whatever. And so I didn't get it. I already said that. Oh my god. Thank God it's here at the end of this video, because it's just like all over the place in this video. But anyway, I guess that's all for this video. I know it's just like a completely random stuff, and I mean, I got the yarn haul and everything, and I did finish my Christmas bag, and I'm really proud of it and stuff. But here at the end, it's like a bunch of random stuff. But that's not anything new if you've seen any of my videos at all. But whatever. Anyway, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello. Hello. For God's sake. I hate how I say hello. Hello, I'm EG. Now it's like whispering it. Hello. I didn't want it to be really loud the second time, and it's like, hello.